Imagine waking up after 2 decades of marriage, looking at the children you helped raise, and realizing they were never yours to begin with. This isn't the plot of a movie. It's a real story, twisted with betrayal, buried secrets, and a truth that shattered an entire family. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now let's dive in. For over 20 years, David Larkin thought he had everything. A stable job as a middle school principal, a warm home in suburban Colorado, and 3 children he adored. His wife, Julia, was the heartbeat of the family, charming, intelligent, and deeply involved in their community. They were, by all accounts, the perfect couple. But perfection is often a mask. Julia had a past, a part of her life David never questioned. They met in college, where Julia was known to be vivacious and outgoing. But what David didn't know was that during her early 20s, Julia had a series of discreet relationships with women, deep emotional and romantic connections she never disclosed. After getting married, Julia remained faithful, at least in public. But behind the smiles and family vacations, she carried a secret that would eventually explode. The unraveling began in the most unexpected way. Julia ran into an old flame, Samantha Rowe, at a conference in Denver. What started as a polite catch-up over coffee reignited a powerful emotional connection. Julia and Samantha began an affair, not just physical, but deeply emotional. Julia told Samantha things she never told David, how she felt confined, how she questioned her identity, how she never truly let go of her past. The affair lasted for 3 years. During that time, Julia gave birth to their second and third children, both of whom, as she would later admit, were fathered by Samantha's brother, who donated sperm under Samantha's persuasion, believing he was helping a friend. Julia, torn between 2 worlds, justified her decisions as preserving her marriage. But what she preserved was a carefully constructed lie. Fast forward 2 decades. David was nearing retirement, and their eldest son, Tyler, gifted him a DNA testing kit for Father's Day. It was meant to be a fun surprise, something to spark stories about family roots. What it uncovered was a lineage that didn't match. David wasn't a genetic match to any of the children. At first, he thought it was a lab error, but when Julia broke down during a confrontation, the truth spilled out like poison. She admitted everything: the affair, the sperm donation, and the emotional entanglement that had never ended. The woman David loved had not only betrayed him, she had rewritten the entire foundation of their family. David filed for divorce within weeks. The emotional toll was devastating, not just for him, but for the children, now young adults, who were forced to reconcile the truth about their identity and the man they'd called dad. A civil lawsuit followed, with David suing Julia for paternity fraud and emotional distress. The media caught wind of the case, dubbing it the Larkin lie, and tabloids dug deep into Julia's past. The public scrutiny forced Julia into isolation, while Samantha fled the country, refusing interviews and contact. In court, Julia's defense leaned on her claim that everything was done for the sake of the family. But the judge disagreed. While there was no legal precedent to force repayment for emotional damages, the court did grant David full legal disassociation from the children, something he struggled to accept, but ultimately saw as a symbolic closure. Months after the court ruling, Julia experienced a full mental breakdown. She was admitted to a psychiatric facility after being found wandering the streets barefoot, muttering about being erased. Her children, though shocked by her unraveling, refused to speak to her. The truth had burned every bridge. Meanwhile, David rebuilt his life. He wrote a memoir titled Not the Father, My Journey Through a Lie that gained traction online. His honesty resonated with thousands, especially men who had faced similar betrayal. The memoir led to a TED Talk where David stood on stage and told the world, "Sometimes the biggest crime isn't violence, it's silence." In a surprising twist, Samantha's brother, whose identity remained concealed during the trial, came forward anonymously online, stating that he had no idea his donation was part of an affair. He claimed to be blindsided by the scandal and disavowed any involvement. This case wasn't about murder or abduction, but it was still a crime of betrayal, a theft of trust, and the lifelong scars left by deception. What do you think? Was Julia a victim of identity suppression, or a manipulator hiding behind emotional complexity? Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For more shocking true crime stories, turn on that notification bell. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the greatest mysteries happen behind closed doors.